understanding without hatred, learning how not to cry. Mothers light a single candle for the ones who didn't return. Each small flame a quiet promise of lessons learned, of hearts that burn. Graves don't speak, but they remember. Fields remember every fall. Even silence has a heartbeat echoing through Angkor's walls. If the stars could tell our story, they would dim and bow their heads for a land that keeps on breathing, though it's filled with ghosts and threats. Oh, Cambodia kingdom, lonely through the years, you learn to smile through broken days, you learn to walk through fears. Oh, Cambodia kingdom, your tears became your song, a melody of quiet strength that carried you along. I hear hope in distant footsteps on dusty roads at dawn. Young hands planting new tomorrows where old dreams once were gone. They don't shout, they don't demand it, they just stand and hold the line. Peace is built in simple moments, one small breath at a time. Still the night can feel so heavy when the past won't let you sleep, when the scars beneath the flag cut deeper than they seem. But even pain bows to the sunrise, even grief must learn to bend. Cambodia, you keep on walking even when the night won't end. Oh, Cambodia kingdom, under broken skies, you buried anger, planted love where sorrow used to rise. Oh, Cambodia kingdom, your voice is low but true. The world may not hear every word, but I still hear you. If peace is fragile, we will guard it, not with fire, not with blame, but with patience, hands held steady, and the courage to stay humane. Let the children learn the meaning of a future without chains. Let the land forgive itself for surviving all the Cambodia kingdom, still standing in the rain. Your crown is not of diamonds now, but strength earned through pain. Cambodia kingdom, when the night feels long, remember every tear you cried became tomorrow's song. The sky turns blue above the ruins, morning finds your name again. Cambodia, my kingdom, you survive, and that is strength. The night Cambodia holds its breath. Streetlights flicker, afraid to speak. The sky feels heavy with unshed tears, like it knows how close we are to breaking. Footsteps fade on empty roads, each one softer than the last. I walk beside the ghost of us, still trapped inside the past. The wind repeats what I can't say, words my heart still keeps. Even silence feels too loud when the city tries to sleep. The night Cambodia holds its breath, listening to hearts like mine. Every star is standing still, waiting for a sign. If pain could drift into the dark and finally find its rest, the night Cambodia holds its breath inside my chest. The Mekong moves like quiet grief, slow and deep and wide, carrying prayers from broken homes. No one answers on the other side. Boats drift past with tired lights, dreams stitched thin with hope. I wonder how the world keeps turning when I barely cope. Your name lives in the passing rain, in engines fading fast. I hear you most when everything pulls me to the past. The night Cambodia holds its breath as I fall apart alone. Every memory feels sharper now than any broken bone. If loving means you learn to ache without demanding less, the night Cambodia holds its breath inside my chest. Angkor sleeps beneath the moon, stone hearts worn by time. They've watched devotion turn to dust under 1,000 skies. I touch the walls so cold, so still, they whisper what remains. Nothing lasts forever here, but love remembers pain. Old cafes close their wooden doors, chairs stack like folded prayers. Laughter fades into the dark like it was never there. I order tea, I won't drink warm, watch steam dissolve in air. Like all the words I never said, like proof you're not still there. I thought the dark would soften me, that time would make me strong. But time just teaches lonely hearts how to quietly go on. The night Cambodia holds its breath, I smile for passing eyes. They don't see the storm inside or count my silent cries. If strength is just surviving now with faith that's stretched and bent, the night Cambodia holds its breath for what we meant. If I could speak to yesterday, I'd beg it not to rush. I'd save us from the quiet space where love turned into hush. I'd tell you I was terrified to say how much I cared. Some hearts don't break from anger, they break when no one dares. I still carry you in how I breathe, in how I face the dawn, in every future I imagine since the night you were gone. Loving you didn't ruin me, it taught me how to feel, how something beautiful can hurt So let the river take my tears, let the wind confess the night Cambodia holds its breath. Then slowly lets it rest. I carry love like a sacred scar, hidden in my eyes. If tomorrow asks me who I am and how I made it through, I'll say I learned to live with pain, still loving you. So let the river take my tears, let the wind confess the night Cambodia holds its breath, then slowly lets it rest. Footsteps echoing Cambodia's lonely night, on streets washed pale by tired light. The moon hangs low like it's afraid to see the tears I never hide. Closed shops breathe out their final sighs, windows blink like weary eyes. I walk with memories in my hands that time refused to dry. Every step repeats your name like the ground still knows our sound. I try to walk away from you, but you're everywhere around. Footsteps echoing Cambodia's lonely night, calling out what's lost, not gone. Every road remembers us long after love moved on. If hearts could speak to empty streets and tell them how to heal, footsteps echoing Cambodia's lonely night, with everything I feel. The Mekong hums a broken tune, low and slow like lullabies. It carries wishes from the dark and lets them quietly die. Boats drift past with fading lamps, hope stitched thin with threadbare dreams. I stand still while the whole world moves in soft, unbroken streams. Your voice lives in the passing rain, in engines fading fast. I hear you most when silence comes and pulls me to the past. Footsteps echoing Cambodia's lonely night, every echo feels like you. Every corner holds a memory I don't know how to lose. If love is learning how to ache and still choose to survive, footsteps echoing Cambodia's lonely night, to keep my heart alive. Scarred by time, they've watched devotion turn to dust, and still they stand in line. I rest my hand on ancient walls, so cold, so full of pain. They whisper truths the living learn too late, again and again. Old cafes lock their wooden doors, chairs stacked like folded prayers. Laughter fades into the dark like it was never there. I order tea, I won't drink warm. Watch steam dissolve in air, like all the words I never said, like proof you're not still there. I thought the night would teach me peace, that silence would be kind, but silence only plays your voice on repeat in my mind. Footsteps echoing Cambodia's lonely night. I smile when people pass. They don't see the war inside, or how long shadows last. If strength is just continuing when faith feels thin and small, footsteps echoing Cambodia's lonely night, down every wall. If I could speak to yesterday, I'd beg it not to rush. I'd save us from the careless space where love turned into hush. I'd tell you I was terrified of losing what we were. Some hearts don't break from anger, they fade when words don't occur. I still carry you in how I breathe and how I face the dawn, in every future I imagine since the night you were gone. Loving you didn't ruin me, it taught me how to stay, how to hold the pain with open hands and walk anyway. Footsteps echoing Cambodia's lonely night. Hear my whisper, not my cry. I don't ask for happiness, just truth enough to try. If hope is small and trembling now like candles in the rain, footsteps echoing Cambodia's lonely night, say my name. Monks walk barefoot before the sun, orange robes in gray. They chant of loss, impermanence, of letting go, of staying. I bow my head but hold my heart, not ready to release. Some goodbyes don't end in leaving, they end in quiet grief. The sky turns pale, the stars retreat, another night moves on. I look like someone healing now, but the ache lives on. Footsteps echoing Cambodia's lonely night, as morning starts to rise. I carry love like a sacred scar, hidden in my eyes. If tomorrow asks me who I am and how I made it through, I'll say I learned to walk with pain, still loving you. So let the river take my tears, let the wind remember my name. Footsteps echo in Cambodia's lonely night, and I walk on, forever changed.